It's quite bizarre and a weird feeling, but some of the darkest moments, most troubling moments in someone's life, which it sounds horrible, but it's also for the clergy the most rewarding. Preside over a funeral or sitting at a gravesite and dealing with people at the bedside of someone who's really struggling and doesn't know. Hearing the words cancer for the first time uttered from a doctor to them unknowingly, and to have them turn to you and look for support. That's a tremendous role to play for someone. I currently serve as the executive director of the Long Island Contractors Association, as well as the pastor of Faith Evangelical Lutheran Church in Syosset, but many people also know me for serving in the state legislature for 5 terms for quite a while ago. I appeared before the entire congregation and led in worship, and then they had a literal vote to see if they wanted to call me. Coming from the political world, elections are not that unusual for me, but this was totally different. It's not the same situation. This is people that you're going to deal with in certain personal needs, spiritual, in hospital calls or whatever, and trying to be their leader. So this is a vote that is very serious. People joke, they say, they talk about my Superman routine where I'm jumping in and out of my car, and they keep joking about, am I going to show up at the meeting wearing the wrong clothes? One of the most surprising things that I've experienced is I preached a few weeks ago, and I talked about stress and how to deal with stress. And I told the story about when I served as a chaplain and in the hospital, and the supervisor of all the chaplains said, today we're going to go on a little trip. We're going to go visit the most stressful place in the hospital. So we all got on the elevator, and here we are, a bunch of chaplains assigned to the psych ward, the prison ward, the oncology ward, very difficult places. And we get on the elevator, and we're heading down the halls directly to the emergency room. Immediately, he makes a hard right turn, opens the doors, turns around, and stops abruptly. Welcome to the waiting room, the most stressful place in the hospital, the most stressful place in our lives. And I talked about the stress of the unknown. And after service, a woman came up to me and spoke about the stress that she was going through with her daughter who was in the hospital. And I never, when I prepared that sermon, ever expected that I would touch someone that way. Doubt is always there, and doubt is something that people say you should not have, and that's not a position that I take. I resisted the call for many years because I didn't feel I was warranted or qualified. I felt my personal piety wasn't good enough. And what I've learned is that's exactly why God is calling me, because regular people can relate to me one-on-one, and that's what the church needs. If someone approached me 10 years ago and said that I would be ordained as a member of the clergy, I would have laughed. I never would have believed that I'd be sitting there today in the role that I now serve.